us, this is a different perspective from what we're used to. But it's very important because the way we see the world influences the way we treat that world. Our perceptual lenses, the way we gaze out at the world, reflect beliefs and values that are determined by gender, by ethnicity, by religion, by socioeconomic status. Ask a logger and an environmentalist to talk about forests. Talk to a stock market speculator and a street person about the economy or welfare. Ask a man and a woman about love, family, and sex. You'd swear they came from different planets. So, is a forest a sacred grove or just timber and pulp? Is a river the circulatory system of the land or an opportunity for energy and irrigation? Is soil a complex community of organisms or dirt? Is another species our biological relative or a resource? Is our house our home or real estate? Is the planet our mother or a mother lode? We have to find a balance between these perspectives because the way we see the world influences the way we treat it. Indigenous people have taught me what they've known for millennia, that everything on this blue planet is interconnected and interdependent, held together by Mother Earth. The concept of mother, of the earth as our mother, is an apt one in this context. The very first thing every one of us needed when we left our mother's body was a breath of air. That first breath was to inflate our lungs and announce our arrival on earth. And from that moment on to the last gasp we take in our death rattle, we need air every minute of our life. We don't even think about it. It's so easy, right? 2 to 3 liters of air deep down into those mushy little organs we call our lungs. And as that air enters our lungs, then hemoglobin molecules and red blood cells pick up the oxygen and deliver them to every part of our body. So all of our cells are built out of the oxygen in that breath of air. And what we breathe out is spread through a matrix of air that connects us to all people and every living thing on this planet. Every breath we take contains atoms that were once embedded in the bodies of Joan of Arc and Jesus Christ. Every breath we take has atoms that were once in the bodies of dinosaurs 65 million years ago. Every breath we take will suffuse life as far as we can see into the future. And that's why air is regarded by most indigenous people as sacred, beyond valuation. If we don't breathe air for more than 3 or 4 minutes, we're dead. Can't imagine anything more important than air. If we have to breathe contaminated air, we're sick. So surely air should be our highest priority as a civilization. And air is created by plants, a gift of life to life. We humans boast of our superior intelligence, yet we use air as a toxic dump. We are air. Whatever we do to the air, we do to ourselves. Each of us is at least 60% water by weight. We're basically a big blob of water with enough thickener at it, we don't dribble away on the floor. But of course our bodies leak water, right? It comes out of our skin and our nose and our eyes and our mouth and our crotch, and we lose water. So we have to constantly top up by drinking water. Deprived of water for 3 or 4 days, we're dead. If we have to drink contaminated water continually, we're sick. So surely protecting water should be the highest priority of any society. We think that, and yet we use water as a toxic dump, as if the solution to pollution is dilution. We are water. Whatever we do to the water we do to ourselves. Every bit of the food that we consume for our nutrition to make up our bodies was once alive. We take the carcasses of plants and animals, tear them apart in our mouths, and then take the liberated atoms and molecules and make them into what we are. We are the earth through the food we consume. Yet we put toxic waste into the earth and even spray or inject toxic compounds into the very plants and animals that we're going to eat and incorporate into us. And all of the energy in our bodies that we need to move and grow and reproduce, all of that energy is fire from the sun, captured by plants in photosynthesis and converted into chemical energy. And then we eat the plants or eat the animals that eat the plants, capture that stored energy and put it into our bodies. And when we need that energy to move or grow, we then burn those chemicals to release the energy of sunlight back into our bodies. We are sunlight. Yet we are reducing our most fundamental energy source by deforestation and ocean pollution. Earth, air, fire, water. Indigenous people often refer to these vital forces as sacred. And amazingly, these elements are cleansed, replenished, and created by the web of life that scientists call biodiversity, and that indigenous people often refer to as our relatives. We heard Judy talk about that very thing, about the two and the four-leggeds, the winged ones, and the plants. And again, this perspective, where indigenous people call them our relatives, is confirmed by science. Modern genetics informs us that each of us carries thousands of genes identical to the genes found in eagles, in salmon, in cedar, and bears, because we share a common evolutionary history. Many of you may not know that I was born a twin in 1936. My sister Marcia was much smaller than me. I weighed 9 pounds and she weighed less than 3. That gives you some insight into my character, I guess. And when she was born, she was not expected to live. But it didn't seem fair to my parents that I was at home being the center of attention while Marcia was all alone at the hospital. So they begged to have her released, and they brought her home and cared for her, and she flourished, and now she's a grandmother living in Toronto. Now, the cost of twins and all the extra care put my parents into debt for years. It was a crippling load for a young couple coming out of the Depression. My youngest daughter, Sarika, is in a hospital right now having a baby.